ask you a difficult question. What do you think is going to happen?
If we continue down this path where we have seen this war continue to escalate since the invasion happened, we will end up in World War III and a nuclear holocaust.
Imagine everything eradicated almost instantaneously and living in a lawless, structureless society where people are scrambling for food and dying of radiation poisoning if you're lucky.
And how long that radiation contamination lasts.
Thousands of years.
Our leaders need to look out for our lives, our futures, our country, this planet, and negotiate an end to this war and prevent destruction of this planet. If nothing else changes and we continue down this path, this is where that path leads.
That's some top quality doomsday ASMR right there. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Okradowski here of WeAreChange.org. And man, oh man, do we have some crazy news to get into today, as of course there's a lot of hyperbolic, sensationalistic nonsense in our media discourse today that of course we will be breaking down, debunking, and explaining, as we had a very important message given to us by the former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard and Joe Rogan that truly came out with a very important message and perspectives about what is happening right now in Ukraine that we will be breaking down and explaining to you in this particular video. That, as well as the latest updates on the front lines, what's happening there, how is this conflict evolving, what's the latest strategy by Russia? Well, we're going to talk about that plus a lot more. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, and the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is by the extremely talented Samuel Rivera. We have used his videos before, and he has done a masterful job highlighting and editing the latest highlights from the Joe Rogan podcast. He did it in an incredible way. He is definitely an artist, to say the least, and of course we will be linking his channel down in the description below, as of course he deserves a lot more subscribers and definitely a lot more views on his original video that we played a portion of in the beginning of our broadcast. So after this broadcast, definitely go check him out. Definitely go subscribe to him. A lot of people ask, hey, why aren't you subscribed? This is a work computer. Again, I don't have my account on here, but trust me, on my official YouTube channel, yes, we are subscribed to him. We clicked the notification button. He was kind enough to message me this video as soon as it came out. And yeah, definitely go check him out and support him, as of course his depiction in this conflict is not far away from how already many parts of the United States look after many failed democratic policies that have created lawlessness, poverty, and an overall dependence on government for our existence. Right now, because of the fiscally irresponsible policies by both the Democrats and Republicans, who made very poor decisions that you are paying for right now, we are seeing home prices tumble, as of course many people are finding it more and more difficult to actually get mortgages, as of course mortgage rates have surged to the point where many people can't even afford homes, as the interest that they will be paying on it has just increased significantly. It is expected to even increase from here. All of this as we still have to realize the pain being felt in the outside Western world is a lot more severe than it is here in the United States, as still the US dollar remains strong and the larger financial havoc still hasn't come to us yet. And we're still dealing with record high inflations. All of this as many politicians and pundits are literally trying to distract you with utter nonsense that has no real life personal effects on your existence. This as MSNBC just had on its broadcast a disgraced former FBI official that openly declared on their broadcast that the US government should be waging the same kind of war footing against Americans as it did against terrorists after 9/11, even going as far to say that, quote, 9/11 is nothing compared to January 6th. Hyperbolic, nonsensical, radical dribble that is meant to evoke emotions so you are overwhelmed by them and not actually paying attention to what's going on here.
But when you look at something that is an attack on democracy, something that could actually bring about a fundamental change to American governance as we understand it, 9/11 is nothing compared to January 6th. the FBI and the rest of the government, if they are not on the same sort of war footing that we were on in the weeks and months and years after 9/11, shame on everyone.
This just showing you how far the nation has strayed away from its core values of respecting people and their political differences to this utter nonsense, as of course this kind of sensationalistic behavior has now become routine by a lot of major media outlets like the Daily Beast that are now declaring a new nightmare variant of a sickness which, according to them, most of the treatments don't even get to touch it or affect it. And yeah, someone should tell the Daily Beast about what's been happening within the last few months, especially when it comes to those treatments. But again, I'm already getting into some very spicy topics, which I will be discussing later on today on LukeUncensored.com. If you're not a member yet, what are you waiting for? Sign up right now. It's very easy. It's very simple. Come here, click, bada bing, bada boom. Your information will be given here. You'll be sent an email. That email will give you access, login credentials, and you're able to go to one of many areas that are available to you as a member, whether it's our forum, exclusive secret t-shirt store that's very cheap and affordable, 3 master classes, videos there presented to you almost every single day. All of that, plus a lot more, especially the spicy hot button issues that we can't talk about here, will be talked about specifically all on LukeUncensored.com after the making of this video. The video will be available for you if you remember right after this one. Just click the link, subscribe, log in, and be prepared to have some very serious, not family-friendly conversations about what's really happening in this world and how you could do your best in order to try to avoid being screwed by it. This is a no-screw zone right here, and if you don't like to get screwed, this is definitely the place for you. You like to get screwed, hey man, that's all you. But I just have a different approach. LukeUncensored.com, click the link down in the description below right now and sign up. Now, in the making of this video, there's new footage coming out showing what Benny Johnson has described as someone hitting the pause button on the President of the United States, as of course his cognitive and mental health is in question after many goofs, gaffes, slurred statements, and just confusing moments that should scare the utter crap out of everyone, since of course we are involved in a proxy war between the West and the East. This was the major sentiment explained by former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard on the Joe Rogan Experience recently, a podcast that I listened to in full. And even though I have my differences with the commentators here, they made an excellent point describing our current situation in very easy to understand terms that I think is very important for a lot of people to watch to fully understand the perplexing and dangerous situation that we are in. As you know, we've been talking about this larger proxy war and its build up here on this YouTube channel for about 10 years now. I think it's even beyond that, older than that. Go to the older videos here. You could see us saying, hey, major situation happening with Russia. Look at the old videos, and you'll see the context here that has been ramping up to this, as of course Ukraine is not the first proxy war between the East and the West. There have been many, including, of course, the latest one being in Syria. There's also another one happening in Yemen, and we could keep going on and on with the larger key geopolitical differences and interests when it came to, of course, the East and the West and what they're truly after. And when Tulsi Gabbard says the U.S. is engaged in a proxy war with Russia using Ukraine as our military, she's not wrong. And we would be kidding ourselves to say that we're not involved here, that we're not calling the shots here, that we're not making the key decisions here, that we're not providing the key strategic infrastructure in a policy that looks like it is there to bleed Russia dry. And we could see already with the shortage of missiles and of U.S. military supplies that were just given to Ukraine, that the amount of military hardware given to them is very significant. There's already estimates that it has been up to $80 billion. That's almost as much as the Afghanistan Taliban got after, of course, we left it there in their country. Another wasteful spending of American tax dollars that has literally gone to waste. And we have to understand here, as Tulsi Gabbard explained, the more that the United States is involved, the more that the faith of the Ukrainian people is not in their hands, with, of course, a larger wager happening right now with the faith of everyone else. And while everyone else is in danger, while people in Ukraine and Russia lose their lives, who's winning here? The military-industrial complex. As of course, new contracts need to be bid for, new weapons, new missiles have to be built, and at the end of the day, we do have to understand that there's a big, powerful lobby making a lot of money off this that is incentivized for it not to stop. Aaron Mate also wrote a very interesting piece about this on his Substack that was titled The Endless Proxy War by Design, with a byline that reads, while privately conceding that its ally Ukraine is not capable of winning the war, the Biden administration keeps fueling it. Why would you keep fueling an endless war that there's no chance of winning? Why would you bring us closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation? Why are you terrifying the general public with your show of incompetency almost every single day to not even make coherent sentences? And that's a question that I believe is worth asking, as especially there's a new phase of this warfare that is sabotage of key infrastructure, which of course was first launched on the Russian pipeline Nord Stream, which today we're getting new robotic images from, highlighting how this attack was a massive one, highlighting 165 feet of the pipeline actually being destroyed or actually being buried under the seabed. 50 meters of missing pipelines that will take years, if that, with some estimates saying it's going to be virtually impossible to put back together. This, of course, negatively impacting Russia in a very severe way, as it took off a major bargaining chip off of the table for them. Russia now is, of course, responding by going after Ukrainian energy infrastructure, as already 1/3 of Ukrainians' power stations have been destroyed. This, as the World Health Organization is literally warning of a brutal winter ahead, as Europe is finding it more and more difficult to get energy in order to heat their homes and businesses with. Why is that? Well, one of the major pipelines that was providing energy to them was just blown up. There's also been Russian attacks against Ukrainian communication hubs, attacks against Starlink, which Elon Musk is providing for free to the tune of almost $100 million now, as the country there and its leaders call him a traitor. And with these escalations, we're seeing more of them, as today continues a many-day-long NATO exercise of a nuclear bombing training program. The European Union also today approved a program that will officially train thousands of Ukrainian soldiers inside of Europe, predominantly Germany and Poland, getting them more involved in this conflict. This as Russia is getting Belarus involved in this conflict, and of course Iran, that is providing them a lot of the drones that have been used inside of Ukraine, predominantly Kiev, that cannot be stopped by air defense systems. And sometimes, of course, hitting civilian infrastructure and not just the energy grid. But once again, as Russia is warning that if their newly seized Ukrainian land is getting attacked, they will protect it with nuclear bombs. This, as I think it's fair to say, we need peace in Ukraine, and we need these two countries to at least come to the table and negotiate and talk to each other. Once that happens, again, it's not up to me to decide what the terms are going to be of that. It's important to note here that not everyone will get what they want here, but at least we end this insanity and nonsense that has been plaguing our discourse, which shows us just how crazy and sociopathic some politicians are. If you agree with that message, share this video with your friends and family members. It is more imperative than ever. If you disagree with me, please let me know why. I appreciate your effort to try to show me a different side of the story that I might not understand. Being from Poland, being raised there, being born there, of course, I have my particular belief systems, my experiences that, of course, impact my understanding of this story that might be different than yours. Who's right here? Let's have a conversation about it. Let's do that down in the comment section below. And if it wasn't for you guys keeping me accountable, sharing this video, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. One more video right now available for you on lukeuncensored.com. See you there.